Round two of the VFL on grandstand. The defending premiers Port Melbourne going against Werribee. Sorry, I'll start that again. In 3, 2. Round two of our VFL coverage on grandstand saw the defending premiers Port Melbourne going up against Werribee. David Rees-Jones was in the expert comments chair. And Rees, they celebrated the unfurling of the flag, Port Melbourne, and they celebrated a fantastic win as well. Yeah, they certainly did. They went through the season undefeated last year and they've just continued on in fine fashion. They were sensational today. Right from the first bounce, their intent was to get in and get the ball and make life hard for Werribee. And even though Werribee got the first goal there through Ben Warren, it was all Port Melbourne after that. It was a remarkable 15-minute burst. That was a great mark by Gale. But then in the 15-minute period, they kicked 9 goals. This man was one reason, Dean Galea, and his partner in crime, Adrian Bonadio, 4 goals apiece in the first quarter. Yeah, I've never seen that. Two different, separate players kick 4 goals each in a quarter of football, and but they both did it. That was a great goal on the outside of the boot there, but they just dominated the play, and the goals were just so easy. It was either Bonadio or Galea coming forward. Whoever was in the better position was given the ball on the lead, and too easy. Without wishing to take anything away from Port Melbourne's effort in the first quarter, the lack of pressure at times from Werribee was quite startling. Well, around the contest, they just didn't have any players who wanted to get inside and get the hard ball, basically. I mean, they were all on the outside waiting for the ball to spill out, and that just doesn't happen. And Port Melbourne controlled the contests, and that was a major reason why they had a very easy win. We just saw Billy Burston kick the first goal of the second quarter. Then came a patch where Werribee at least lifted their intensity and looked a lot better. But it was back to the way we normally were because Port kicked the last 4 goals of the term. Yeah, and sometimes you worry about Werribee. I mean, last year they were the same. They were very inconsistent. They'd have some great matches and take it up to some good teams. And then, they get beaten by bottom teams. Well, they look like a bottom team today. And they were terrible in the way they applied themselves to play a game of football, especially coming up against the reigning premiers. Hard to know what Scotty West could possibly have said to his team at half-time. At least they came out and kicked 5 goals in the third quarter, but it turned out that they actually had the breeze again because the wind had swung around. Port Melbourne into the breeze for the second quarter in a row, won the quarter. Yeah, and it just showed the strength of Port Melbourne. They had, good players right. They got the basis, and we see Valenti, who's just a class act, and their midfield, Valenti, Kane, Dwyer, these sort of guys, they just rack up possessions and very classy footballers. I guess Scott West at three-quarter time said to the players, well, your reputation doesn't mean anything. You're going out and you're playing for your existence. Ben Warren, as we said, was quite good. But at least the one positive you could take out, and it's only a small positive, at least Werribee did win the last quarter. Yeah, and look, I mean, they had to, really. I mean, they're playing for pride, really, and obviously Port Melbourne put the brakes on. They just took it easy leading into the finish, but the stats there speak for themselves. They don't lie. It was an absolute smashing. So a great start for Port Melbourne, and they win convincingly in round two, 22-16, 148 to Werribee, 14-5, 89. The final margin, 59 points.